If you need some advice or looking for an idea, just to get some tips, you can get that right here. This is Lori's life, yeah, this is Lori's life, yeah. Check out Lori's life, yeah.
Welcome back, ladies, to the Grown Women's Table. Ladies, it's your girl Lori, and I am tired, y'all, but I gotta twist my hair up, so I figured I'd come on here and talk to y'all while I twist my hair up. So you guys all know I get this talk and twist idea from Tony Daly, so go over to her channel and check out her talk and twist. Y'all, you see my hair, y'all. And y'all got new set up how I'm filming, so I'm trying to get accustomed to it. So if you see me looking over here or something, I'm just trying to get used to it. But y'all, we about to twist this hair up of mine. Let me show y'all the products that I'm using, and then I'm gonna tell y'all what I want to talk about. You guys know that I'm doing the main choice, the Tropical Marina, and I'm gonna use, this is the glaze. So I'm just kind of doing I'm making, so hold on, to make sure you can see this. No, you can't. There we go. So I'm using this, and then I'm using the little refresher spray. So I'm just gonna add a little bit of product, not a lot, just a tad bit, because I'm just going in and just refreshing my hair. So I'm gonna section it off. But y'all, a lot of y'all might not know this, but I want to talk about infertility and my infertility journey of not having children. And I wanted to talk about this with y'all today because I know Mother's Day is coming up, and years ago Mother's Day used to really kind of be a hard time for me, and I just wanted to come on here and just share my journey and just try to maybe encourage some people who might be going through what I was going through. And I really didn't have people that shared my experience. So it was a little bit more difficult because I didn't have that reference point. So I'm just going to tell y'all a little bit about my story and, you know, how I dealt with it and some of the feelings that I had and how it was really, really difficult for a long, long time for me. Most of you guys know I've been married forever. No, I got married when I was 20. I had just really turned 20. I turned 20 in August, got married in November. So basically, you know, I had just turned 20. And I'm gonna do the back first. Hold on. And so I really wasn't even really thinking about no kids and that, you know, we just chilling, kicking it, or whatever. But from the first time I started having a cycle, I used to have really bad cramps. And I just thought, you know, that was just a part of the, you know, what came with the territory. You know, every single month, y'all, I would just get so sick, and it would get to a point like I couldn't even go to school because I would be cramping up so bad. And so my mom ended up taking me to the doctor. I don't know how old I was. I might have been 15, 16. I don't know. I can't remember. And I know they gave me some medicine, but all the medicine really was, I guess, now thinking back on it, probably was just like a painkiller. Because all it would do was make me sleep. So I still couldn't really do too much of anything, you know. But I never thought anything of it. My cycle was on time. You know, I never had any problems like that. So I still never thought anything about it. I just thought I had bad cramps. Well, I guess when I got to be 20, about 20, I was 24. I know exactly how old I was. I was 24, and y'all, one day I had went to work, and I'm sorry if I'm looking down. One day I had went to work, and it was on a Friday. And y'all, when I tell you I was hurting so bad, but it wasn't that time of month, but when I tell you I was hurting so bad, but I had gotten used to dealing with pain like that. So that Friday, you know, I dealt with it. And then that Saturday, you know, I still was in pain. I was still dealing with it. And then like Saturday night, y'all, when I tell you I was hurting so bad, I was just like, Lord, if you just let me make it to the morning, stop this pain. Soon as I get up in the morning, I'm going to go to the doctor. So that's what I did. I went to the doctor that Sunday. I ended up being admitted into the hospital. because they said I had a really big cyst on my ovaries. So I had to have it removed. So they wanted to do the surgery on, I think that Wednesday or Thursday. I can't remember, y'all. It was a long, long time ago. But so they told my husband that the surgery would take about 2 hours or so. Well, I ended up being on the table for like, I think 8 hours. And come to find out, once they opened me up, I had endometriosis. And y'all, when I tell you I had no idea what endometriosis was, I had never, ever, ever, ever heard of endometriosis. So, a lot of it I still don't remember. But, so afterwards, you know, everything was, they didn't take anything out or anything like that, but they had to go in and clean up all the endometriosis. And, after that, my periods, when I say y'all, my periods went from severe to almost not non-existent, but I mean as far as pain is concerned. So I wasn't hurting anything like that. So, you know, your girl was happy. And then I started gaining a little weight because I was real, real, real skinny. And so then you know, I was really happy. So I'm going to move on along. But at that point, around 24 or 5, maybe, I was really like, okay, I'm ready to have a baby. I want a baby. You know, it's time to have a baby. You know, it's time to have kids. And when I tell y'all, everybody around me had kids. And I'm not talking about every woman I knew had kids. So I'm like, what, you know, it's time for me to have some babies, you know. And I kept trying to conceive, trying to, you know, just trying, you know, having fun, trying to have a baby. Got to the point, even y'all, this is so funny. You know, me and my mother-in-law are super cool. I don't understand how people, I know people say they have mother-in-laws from hell and all that kind of stuff. I don't. I adore my mother-in-law. And so we were talking and stuff, and I was telling her, and she was like, oh, she was telling me positions, y'all. It was so funny. She would tell me positions, what to do, and, you know, we would talk about it and stuff. And y'all see, I'm not putting that much on my hair. I'm just refreshing it. And so, you know, I'm still trying to, you know, conceive. Nothing's happening. And so I still didn't think it was an issue. You know what I'm saying? I just thought, okay. And so maybe I might have been about 26 or so, and I didn't get a cycle. So y'all know your girl was happy. Do you hear me? I was so excited. I just knew, because I never missed a cycle. I knew, y'all, I was about to have a baby. So go to the doctor and stuff, you know, go get the, you know, little test or whatever. Girl, that doctor said, you ain't pregnant. I'm like, what? When I tell y'all, I was so devastated. When I tell you I was devastated, y'all, I was devastated. I just could not believe it. Like, what was going on? At this time, y'all, I'm still living in Cleveland. I haven't even moved to North Carolina yet. So, even though I didn't have any biological children, I was raising my little sister at that time. By that time, she had already come to live with us. So I was raising my little sister. So, but you know, still, it wasn't my child. It was my sister. I'm raising my sister. You know, I loved her and I took care of her as if she was my own. But you know what I'm saying. So I kept trying. And I think that year or maybe the year after, one of my sisters actually said that she would, you know, like carry a baby for me or whatever if I wanted to. I'm like, girl, no, ain't nobody about to be doing all that, you know, because I'm still thinking, oh, I'm gonna have kids. Ain't nobody about to be doing all that. Adoption was totally out of the question for me. I didn't want to adopt. I just wanted my own baby. And y'all, when I tell you, I take that back. It was one person in our family that didn't have kids, but then she eventually had kids, and so that still left me being the only one. And when I tell you we had a posse of kids, y'all, we had a posse of. It probably was about, when we got together for family events and stuff, it probably was a good 15, 16, if not more children. at these events, because when I say everybody had kids, everybody had kids. So fast forward, we moved to North Carolina. And at this point, y'all, when I tell you when my cycle would come, I would feel so depressed. I was so, like devastated. I would get so upset. And at one point, I started feeling like, well, I don't even feel like a woman. Like, my parts ain't working. What's going on? I was just really hurt by the whole situation. And, I was going to church and stuff, and I was praying to God and asking God to bless me and my husband. Yeah, I'm looking in this mirror. Bless me and my husband with a baby. I'm just believing God because I just know he's going to do it. And every single month, my cycle would come. So when we moved to North Carolina, I was 27 when we moved to North Carolina. And I think when I turned 29, all of a sudden I would stop having a cycle. And y'all, I was so excited. And then I went to the doctor, and she was like, no, you're not pregnant. And then they would give me this, I can't remember what the pill was called, but I know the pill would make you start your cycle. And so the lady kept trying to tell me, the doctor, I had a lady doctor, and she was like, oh, you're just stressed out. That's what's causing, your cycle not to come. And I was telling her, I'm like, no, I'm not stressed at all. I'm not stressed at all, And she kept saying, oh, you're just stressed out. So I think I went through that process maybe like 2 or 3 times where I would not have a cycle, go to the doctor, knowing I'm pregnant, get told, no, you're not pregnant. And so by that time, y'all, I was just like so sad about not having a kid. And I just felt like, it was really a sad time for me. And that's why I wanted to come on here and talk about this, because let me tell you how good God is. So good, though. Because when I lived in Cleveland, I knew no one that did not have kids. I didn't know anybody that struggled with trying to have kids. Everybody I knew, child, honey, you blow them, they was pregnant. You know what I'm saying? So I knew of no one that really had a real struggle except for one person. But then, God blessed her with 2 kids. So I'm like, okay, he do it for her, he'll do it for me. So when I moved to Charlotte, that was the first time, y'all, that I actually met someone who was struggling to conceive. And so I'm not going to use them names, but I'm just saying her name was Chrissy. So I met this lady named Chrissy at church, and her and I both, we became prayer partners, and we at going to God about it, and, really, 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 believing God that it was going to happen. And she ended up having to have surgery because, come to find out, she had endometriosis as well. And when she had her surgery, actually what happened was she decided, okay, I got this endometriosis, I'm going to adopt. And so I was with her through the whole process of her adopting, going up to where the little child was at and everything. And y'all, as soon as she finalized her paperwork and all of that, why did she find out she was pregnant? And when I tell you, me and her were really good friends, but guys, I was so jealous. I was so hurt. I'm just being real with y'all. I'm just going to be very transparent. I was so jealous. I was so hurt. Like, God, why would you bless her, not me? What's different between her and me? Why she getting 2 kids and I can't get 1? And so I literally stopped talking to her. I mean, literally just stopped. I could not be around her. I could not really hang out with her. And then let me tell you what the funniest part about that is. Once I think I didn't hang around her whole entire pregnancy, right? We went to the same church, but I just didn't, I couldn't deal with her because of how I was feeling. Which was, when in hindsight, I know it's wrong, but I'm just telling y'all the truth. And so once I realized, Lori, stop tripping. Don't do that. You can't do that, right? So I decided, y'all, one day out the blue, I decided to call her because, I hadn't talked to her, and just tell her how I was feeling. I'm being real with her. I go to her house on this particular day, y'all. Why is she going to labor? So her husband wasn't home, and so I had to take her to the doctor. I was there up until literally she pushed the baby out. And so I was just like, man, like, okay, all right, Lord, all right. And so, I was happy for her, don't get me wrong, but it was just like, okay, what in the world? So I had got to the point where, and this is what I really want to tell, if you're dealing with infertility, and you've done all that you can do, everything you can do, you have to get to a point of acceptance. And I remember the day I got to the point of acceptance. And I was in my, and we had a spare bedroom. So I was in the spare bedroom. And y'all, when I tell you I lost it, I was so angry at God. I lost it. I cried, I screamed. My husband came in the room looking at me like, are you okay? I'm just like, get out. Y'all, I had to really scream it out, cry it out. And at the end, I said, Lord, I surrender. I said, whatever your will is, let that be your will. And I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna worry about it no more, because it's really, it had me to the point where I felt like I was less than a woman because I didn't have kids. Mother's Day to me was just a reminder of what I could not do or what I could not give my husband, and it was just so crazy. And so once I finally got to that point of acceptance, I felt better. But wait a minute, I need to go back. Before all that happened, before my friend got pregnant and all that, and before I came to acceptance, this happened before then. Because y'all didn't write no notes down, I'm just talking to y'all. Remember I kept saying I kept going to the doctor, and she kept telling me I was stressed, and give me that little pill, make my cycle come, blah, 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 right? So I got to the point, I think after like maybe the third time that happened, because it wasn't happening every month. It would happen in a couple of months, it wouldn't happen, then it would happen again, So I just said, I'm going to find a new doctor. So I went to this guy doctor, and I told him all my symptoms, everything that was going on. Y'all, literally, he took a blood test. And when he took the blood test, got the results back, he knew I was in what they call premature menopause. And now the one thing about that whole situation was he had no bedside manner at all. When I say at all, none. He just came in with the results, and he was just like, oh yeah, this is this, and these levels need to be at this level, and your levels is at that level. So basically, you're not going to have no kids. Well, damn. Oh, okay. And that's basically how he told me, y'all. He was so insensitive. I was crushed. When I tell you I was crushed, I was crushed. So all of that happened before my friend got pregnant and all that kind of stuff. And I was really like, okay, Lord, you're going to bless me. You're going to bless me. You're going to bless me. Well, now I'm going to go back to acceptance. So I knew that I was going to have, a hard time conceiving. And then literally once my cycle stopped, y'all, I knew, I was like, oh my God, it stopped, So, I really am not going to have no kids, And it took me a while, but I just wanted to just encourage someone. Oh, this video, I don't want this video to be too long, y'all. I wanted to encourage someone to, I would never say give up. There's so many options out here if you want to conceive or have kids. Adopt, what I'm saying? There's so many things you could do, but don't allow it to stress you out. Don't allow it to make you feel less than, of a woman just because you don't have kids. Because, y'all, you do not have to have children to be a mother. Like, I raised my sister, and now I'm literally raising my little nephew who y'all see on my videos. You know what I'm saying? So I still, thank God, because he allowed me to have the opportunity to experience what motherhood would be like. I just didn't never physically, have a child. And it's so funny because my sister and I, we were joking. She's like, oh, I had Xavier, now you have a little baby. It's just a joke she be saying. But don't allow it, to make you so sad, because at the end of the day, we as women, our identity is not just of being moms or having kids, or, you know what I'm saying? Your identity is more than that. And I just wanted to come in and encourage you, because sometimes I know around this time of year, it can be, you know, kind of hard, you know what I'm saying? And then also, and this is another thing I want to say too, when you're, you know, like I'm married, so I was going through it, and I had to realize that I was not the only one going through it. You know, I was so focused on how I was feeling. You also have to check in with your spouse, guys. You have to make sure, because, you know, it affects them as well. And you definitely have to check in with them and make sure, you know, that they're okay. But for years, honey, I wasn't checking in with nobody but me, myself, and I. I'm just keeping it real. But I'm just telling you to learn from my mistake, you know. Make sure you check in on your spouse. And you know what I'm saying? And make sure they're all right. Y'all been on here 20 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and get off. I'll finish the rest of my hair off camera. But I just wanted to come and share my story. And hopefully that it can help someone else that might be struggling with what I struggle with. And I understand your pain. I know how it feels. I know how hurtful when you wonder, like, now you got all these mamas out here that ain't nothing. They ain't taking care of their kids, and why you can't have a child. And I get it. Been there, done that. Got a t-shirt, girl. I got a trophy. I know. But I just want to encourage you that whatever is the will, whatever it is that happens, if you have kids and if you don't have kids, whatever it is, that is not just who you are. That's not your full identity. And don't get caught up in that, you know, if you don't have kids, you're not a woman, or, you know what I mean, or something wrong with you. You know what I'm saying? Don't get caught up in that foolishness, because that's not the whole case. And there's so many kids out here. Y'all, I just sprayed myself. So many kids out here that need to be adopted. That's one thing I kind of regret. I wish I might have, you know, would have took that route, but I was, you know, thinking another kind of way. But there's so many options out here. So many children that need a good home and need someone to love them and really be there for them. So you have options. You have choices. You know what I'm saying? So that's it, y'all. That's my journey. And I'm not going to lie and say, oh, I never be, you know, it never gets me down. Because occasionally, you know, I might think about it and get sad sometimes. But that's just being human. That's being life. But I don't allow it to consume my every being and my every thought and everything I do. You know, I'm not doing that no more. Child. And like my sister, my big sister always be talking about, girl, you're going to be like Sarah. I said, you lying. No, I'm not. No, don't want no children. Too old for them now. But yeah, that's a joke. She always be talking to me and saying, I'm like, girl, bye. No. But anyway, y'all, I'm rambling now. I'm about to get off here and I'll finish my hair so I can go to bed. But if you want to talk to me, I'll leave my email address. You can email me if you ever want to talk about it, or if you got questions, I can try to answer as best that I can. And it's going to be okay. You good. You're going to be okay. Because what God has for you is for you. So don't worry about it. You're going to be okay. All right, guys. To all my new subscribers, I see you and I appreciate you. And if you haven't subscribed yet, girl, hit that button so that I can save you a seat at the grown women's table. And until the next video, bye-bye, ladies.
Yeah, this is Lori's Life. If you need some advice or looking for an idea, or just to get some tips, you can get that right here. This is Lori's Life. Yeah, this is Lori's Life. Check out Lori's Life. Yeah, it's Lori's Life.